Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox, 8:32 on the East Coast and 5:32 on the West Coast. The FBI director's testimony on Capitol Hill Wednesday, providing new details into the assassination attempt on former President Trump. Federal investigators say Thomas Matthew Crooks fired from a roof near the rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, wounding Trump and two supporters and killing a former fire chief in the crowd. While testifying before the House Judiciary Committee, Christopher Wray revealed that the shooter, quote, never used a ladder to get onto the roof. Wray explained, quote, we now believe that the subject climbed onto the roof using some mechanical equipment on the ground and vertical piping on the side of the building. He added, quote, in other words, we do not believe he used a ladder to get up there. Investigators initially said evidence pointed to Crooks purchasing a ladder prior to the attack, but added they found no ladder near the scene. A lot of questions do remain, and what you're looking at is some of the newly released body cam video that was obtained by Senator Chuck Grassley, provided to Fox News. Do want to discuss all of this, so let's bring in Mike Harrigan, a retired chief of the FBI's firearms training program. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course. Well, first off, I do want to ask you about that body camera video that was just released here. There are several different angles that are seen. So overall, what stood out to you?
Well, you know, the body camera video, I think, was good for the public to see. And it's typical for an after shooting incident. There's a bit of chaos, and the Secret Service agent or the whoever that agent is there is trying to establish what happened, and he's trying to figure out if there's an ongoing threat, if there's other people involved, and he's trying to report back to D.C. to give them status updates. I'm sure by this time the former president is long gone from the scene, so this agent is there trying to make sense of it. So when you look at the video, this is just a typical, chaos and the fog that surrounds a critical incident like this, but it provides some good insight. I think it really is good for the public to see this and to hear some of the information that was passed back and forth.
FBI Director, as we mentioned, Chris Wray, did testify Wednesday before the House Judiciary Committee on the overall FBI investigation that's underway. What did you make of his testimony as a whole? What stood out to you?
Well, I think the director did a phenomenal job here. You know, the director's been under a lot of heat over the last several years, and he's been caught up in the partisan bickering on the Hill. And this time he went in there into a friendly audience, and I think he really rose to the occasion, and he provided the American people what they needed to hear. He was measured in what he said, which he should be. He should make sure that he only speaks to facts and circumstances that he is sure about. And he dispelled a lot of rumors there by talking about the fact that he didn't use a ladder to get up there. Little things like that, I think, go a long way to building the director's credibility and the FBI's credibility in showing openness here. And I think that what he telegraphed here is that it's not part of a larger international or violent domestic group that's behind this. Otherwise, he would have taken a much different tact here. The fact is, it appears this is a lone wolf actor who is acting on his own. And I really liked the director's engagement on this. I think he was open, and he really he showed that, that the agency is focused on gathering facts on the shooting and on the individual who perpetrated this. And I think it was good for the American people to hear that.
And kind of going a little bit further into that, based on your experience with the FBI, I do want to get your take. Do you feel that the lawmakers who were asking questions overall were being fair and posing valid questions?
Well, somewhat. It was good to see that, that there was, no partisan divide here about the actions of the Bureau or about the investigations. They seem to be together. Of course, on Capitol Hill, as you have to expect, each side is going to have their underlying or associated political issues they're going to want to highlight for the cameras. So when you got past that and you get into the facts of what they were asking, I mean, they were asking some good questions about the situation. So I think when their questions were focused on the actual event, I think they were fair. I think the lawmakers showed a deep sense of concern for the safety of president, the candidates, and I think they really want to do the right thing here as far as strengthening the system and fixing what went wrong.
We do keep learning a little bit more kind of tidbits here about the gunman. And one thing that stood out is during Wray's testimony, he said the shooter had searched, quote, how far away was Oswald from Kennedy? And overall, again, just kind of looking into your experience here, that does seem fairly telling.
It does. You know, I think it shows or it indicates that there was premeditation here, which obviously is hard to wander into an event with a rifle as a last minute thing without doing some pre-planning. So, you know, when you take their searches he did online, distances, you know, he went to a local range, did some shooting, you know, even his manufacture of explosive devices, even though the director was pretty clear they were non-operational because of some of the switches that were on or off. But that does point to his state of mind and that he was planning this out. Now, when we go deeper into that, we still want to know why. I mean, was it an issue with former President Trump? Was it an ideological issue, or was it just, you know, a disturbed young man that wanted his day in the, you know, in the limelight by striking out at a major political figure?
Do you think we'll ever get an answer about what that motive really was? As we know, the shooter is deceased. He was shot dead. So it's not as if anyone can interview him. Will we get any kind of answer about a clear motive?
You know, Josh, that's a good point. And I think that's what people really want to see or want to hear about is why. They want to know why he would do this. Now, the Bureau is using their, you know, advanced electronic means to dig into his devices. They're interviewing people. But at the end of the day, sometimes individuals act for a reason that only they know inside their head. I mean, he didn't seem like he did a lot of, there's a large footprint on social media, but it'll all depend on what the Bureau comes up with. And hopefully, at the end of the day, the American people have a good, you know, snapshot of what happened there. I mean, the director was good in the fact that he delineated how the investigation works between an independent organization that does it, the OIG that looks at the shooting itself, and then the Bureau that looks at the motivations and the causations here of the shooter. So I think at the end of the day, we're going to get a good 360-degree, you know, analysis of this whole event.
Mike, my last question for you here. Where exactly does the investigation overall go next? Because we talked about this, and I imagine this is a fairly lengthy process overall.
It is. You know, the most critical part right now is the Bureau's part is to find out if there's a larger conspiracy, you know, to find out if there's ongoing threats to other presidential candidates. That's the most critical part. But, you know, as the director laid out, there's a three-tier system here. The Office of Inspector General through HHS, you know, I mean, I'm sorry, DHS will be the ones that will look down into the process used by the Secret Service, the protective mission, how they did the mission. And there will be some good lessons learned there because there's no doubt about it. It's a failure. I mean, there's no other way to couch this than as a protective mission failure. But having said that, you know, you have to look at the job the Secret Service agents do every day, the rank and file, all the people in the Secret Service. It's a great organization. They dedicate their lives to protecting, you know, our leaders, and they do a phenomenal job. But this little misstep, and again, more frankly, a big misstep, has to be examined and it has to be opened up to the American people because the American people have to have confidence that their will in the electoral process is protected and that one person can't change the leadership of this country through one bullet. So you're going to see, you know, DHS involved and then, you know, the Bureau, of course, and most importantly will be an independent commission to take all that together and to boil it down so that American people have confidence that the findings are accurate, nonpartisan, and complete.
All right, Mike Harrigan, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here and break it all down. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Josh.